get started. How was your meditation last week? How about you, Cheryl?
It was fine. I was away for a week and I didn't do too well when I got away from my routine. But
Uh-huh.
I've now been back for a week and I seem to have come right back to it.
Good.
So I have to develop a plan. I was interrupted by travel or something like that.
Uh-huh. That's sometimes hard to keep it up when, especially if you build it into a routine and then something happens and you get out of your routine.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, how about you, Clive?
Yeah, well, I found that what works best for me is like I mentioned last week, and that is guided meditation.
Yes.
So the Headspace thing that is on Netflix, I just do the next lesson in that.
Yes.
And when I finish them all, I'll go back to the beginning.
Uh-huh. You also,
You know,
again,
and then yeah, you told me last week, Richard, that there's lots of guided meditation on YouTube.
yes.
Yeah, and I will just use that, but it's a lot easier than sitting dead quiet and trying to stop your mind wandering. You
Hmm.
know?
And one of the things that you might find works, Clive, is to do a 10-minute guided meditation and then do another 10 minutes just on your own, after it's over.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So for years, I would do that. I had a teacher in Santa Cruz, a guy called Nomi was the name he took, Know Me. And so they recorded all of the talks and I would listen to his discourses, which were 10 or 15 minutes, and I would listen to those and start meditating after I did it. And I feel like it made the meditation easier, and I feel like he kind of gave me a free ride
Yeah.
getting started.
Yeah.
And it helps.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, okay, so today, what we're going to talk about a little is meditative absorption. Okay, and this meditation absorption uh, has a long Buddhist tradition, and it in fact is one of the things that Buddha talked a long time ago. Uh, he talked to them, he called them in Pali jhanas, Jhanas, and these are states of absorption. And so we're going to talk about that a little bit, and I'll introduce it. And before we do it, I found a video with some meditation teacher who is talking about these, and I thought it would be a good way to kind of introduce the subject. So let me see if I can play the video.
Okay. Hi, my name is Stephanie Nash, and I am sitting here with Leigh Brasington. Hello, Leigh.
Hi, Stephanie.
Leigh teaches meditation retreats all over the country, teaching Vipassana and Metta, a lot of information about the suttas, and he's probably best known as a jhana teacher, correct?
I guess so.
We're going to go with that.
All right.
Okay. So just for those who don't know what a jhana is, can you just give us a brief description of what that means?
The jhanas are 8 altered states of consciousness that are brought on by concentration and yield even more concentration. The Buddha referred to these specific states as right concentration. They basically take you from a somewhat concentrated state to a very concentrated state. And these states can be learned and accessed during meditation as a warm-up exercise before starting your insight practice, your investigation into the nature of reality.
So would you just describe the first, say, 3 of these, just so we get a sense of what they're about? Because I want to ask you about effects of them, but we need a little description of what they are first.
Okay. The first jhana contains, well, the Pali words, the language in which the Buddha's teachings are recorded, contains piti and sukha. Piti would be glee, zest, rapture, euphoria, more of an excited physical component. And the sukha would be joy or happiness, a sense of pleasure and well-being, and more an emotional component. The entry into the first jhana is when the piti arises due to the fact your mind is very concentrated, and it will be accompanied hopefully by the sukha. And so you're sitting there in a pretty excited, pleasant state.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah, definitely is. A completely legal high, totally free.
We don't think of meditation as being quite that much of a party.
It can have its very pleasant aspects for sure. The second jhana would be to basically calm things down, to move the piti from being in the foreground to being in the background, and the sukha, the emotional state of joy and happiness, then predominates, and you're just sitting there focused on a feeling of happiness. It's a nice place to be as well. The third jhana, the piti, the glee, the excitement, is gone completely, and the happiness is turned down to more of a state of contentment, a place of wishlessness, a state of satisfaction so complete that if Mick Jagger had been practicing the third jhana, he wouldn't be able to sing that song.
Okay. So now let's just, and I know there are more jhanas, and we've done another interview that we'll give information about after this if people want to know more about them. Plus, we'll give information about your website.
I just wanted to have him introduce them. And these jhanas are states of deepening absorption. And it's interesting to me that these are things that the Buddhists encountered thousands of years ago and actually organized into kind of a body of knowledge. And we can use that body of knowledge to help guide us in the practice. So I'm talking about them because I think for you guys, this absorption is kind of the what is next for you in your own practice. And as I talked about it a little later, it may be something that you've already experienced and just haven't labeled it in any way. Okay, so now let us start with meditation, and we'll just do 10 minutes of basic mindfulness. And let me see here. Now I'm having all kind of trouble with my stuff today. Okay, here's the picture for us. And again, we're paying attention on purpose to the present moment non-judgmentally. And let's just begin at the chime. All right. Okay. Let me get this. Okay. Now, today we're going to talk about absorption. And first, a quote: "If you cannot find the truth right where you are, where else do you expect to find it?" This is from Jojin, and he is Japanese, and he's the guy who started the Soto School of Zen, one of the three major schools. The idea of absorption is as old as mindfulness meditation, probably older, of course. Buddhists laid out a series of steps that lead to the deepest meditative experience, and these are called the jhanas. This is where you are profoundly still and in perfect concentration. Your mind is fully immersed in and absorbed in meditation. This might sound difficult, but it's probably something you've already experienced when you got lost in meditation and maybe didn't notice that time had passed. So I want to talk to you about this today and just give you a bit of a model of what to expect from your ongoing meditation. First, you get a good start with your meditation, practicing every day. Then, as the meditation deepens, you start experiencing this absorption, what the Buddhists call the first jhanas. And you don't really have to do anything to bring this about. This happens just naturally as you get more used to the meditation and the meditation deepens. This isn't something you need to strive for. It will come naturally as you continue to practice. Your awareness becomes one with the experience. You lose awareness of yourself. To enter into the first jhana, you must first establish a base of mental tranquility. And that's really what you're doing now with this regular meditation is you're establishing that base in your own practice and in your own daily life. So the first jhana consists of deliberation, reflection, joy, ease, and one pointedness of mind. Now, by have either of you had times where all of a sudden you notice in your meditation a bunch of time had passed and you just didn't notice?
Just for like 1 or 2 minutes,
Uh-huh.
not very long. Yeah.
That still is this kind of absorption, and that's a good sign, and you will find that uh, continues and uh, it lengthens. Okay. Okay. So now we have a guided meditation, a YouTube guided meditation, and this is just meditation for mindfulness.
Hi, and welcome to Declutter the Mind on guided mindfulness meditation. So let's start by getting comfortable. Make sure you're seated comfortably, whether you're in a chair or cushion on the floor, and sitting upright. So again, have an upright but comfortable posture. Rest your hands in your lap or on the arms of the chair. With your eyes open, take a few deep breaths. In through the nose and out through the mouth. On the next out breath, gently close your eyes and relax your breathing. And now, let's bring our attention to the body and the physical points of contact. Let's begin by noticing our weight on the chair that we're sitting on. Maybe it's on the floor. Let's notice the physical points of contact, such as our feet touching the floor. Maybe it's the legs or arms. Maybe it's the hands in the lap. Bring your attention to your back. Maybe it's resting against the chair. And continue to focus your attention on each of these physical points of contact for a few moments. And now let's shift our focus to our breathing. Notice each breath as it passes. Again, we're not changing any way we're breathing here, just observing the breath. And now as we do this, begin to notice any stray thoughts or feelings. We're not trying to dwell on them, just noticing what seems to be entering our minds. Just notice them and return your attention to the breathing. And you'll notice as we start to do this, the mind will begin to wander. You may even be sitting there and having completely forgotten that you're even trying to meditate in the first place. And this is completely normal. The important thing is that whenever we notice the mind has wandered, we gently return the attention back to the breath. Begin to notice the stages of each complete breath, from the in-breath and the rise that follows, to that short pause that follows before the exhale and the falling sensations that follow, to the next pause before taking in another breath. Notice any other sensations around breathing. Maybe it's the temperature of the air entering your nose. Notice if it's warm or cool as it flows down your lungs. And whenever a thought or distraction enters the mind and your mind has wandered, just note it thinking and return back to the breath. And now, to make this a little easier, let's begin to count the breaths as they pass. So the breath in, 1, the breath out, 2, and so on until you reach a count of 10 and start over from 1. And for the final minute here of this exercise, let's just allow the mind to do what it wants. Release the focus of the breath and allow the mind to do what it wants for the next few moments. And now slowly returning the focus back to the physical points of contact, back to your legs or feet on the floor, back to your arms and hands in the lap, noticing your back against the chair, And slowly open your eyes and notice how you feel. You've just completed your mindfulness meditation session. If you've enjoyed this, be sure to visit declutterthemind.com for more, and also leave a like and comment. It helps support the channel. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next session.
All right. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Peace, peace, peace. All right. Questions, comments from today?
It's getting easier. I can sense an improvement in myself.
Uh-huh. Very good. You're smiling, Cheryl.
Yeah, today was a good session. I really enjoyed, I watched the session you did last week, yesterday, and I really enjoyed that one.
Uh-huh. Very good.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, Cheryl, you know, something I've thought of, you know, when your routine is disturbed,
Hmm.
you know, you find it hard to, you know, find the time. Well, I've thought about this. My wife and I like taking road trips, and we're in the routine where after lunch, Bev drives and I relax.
Uh-huh.
And so that fits in with my regular routine. I've not tried it yet, but I would imagine that I can uh, meditate while my wife drives along the highway.
Mhm.
Ah,
That
okay.
works. My trick with that is to roll the window down, let the road noise and the wheel noise in, and make sure you turn the radio off.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
And certainly, if you're not driving, you don't have to worry about the first rule of that kind of meditation, which is don't hit the thing in front of you.
Right. Yes.
It's better than nothing.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yes. Thank you.
Anyway, very good. We'll see you next week. It's good to see you both.
Okay.
See you.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you very
Bye
much.
bye. Bye bye.
Bye now.